Freightliner there because we just bought a truck.
That's right. We just bought a truck.
We're going to show you some footage of the process and tell you all about it. Stay tuned. Here you just see us just talking with one another. I do have this sped up a little bit, so it was rather long. What we had to do at this point was we were at Stoops to pick up our truck. However, we went through a company called ES, or Expedited Services, for the financing. And what we were doing at this point was doing some online paperwork that needed to be completed and DocuSigned to go to the finance company. This process of buying this truck this way was a lot like a mortgage. A lot of times with mortgages, you go to an office and you have already done a lot of DocuSign documents, a lot of things like that. So we had basically the same process as far as documents and things that were DocuSign and regular paperwork that we had to sign right there in the office. We had several questions, and my husband and I went back and forth with a lot of it. At this point, we were just going back and forth, making sure, hey, do you think I'm doing this right? Am I filling this document out right? Does it look proper? All of those things. And as I said, it is a little daunting because it's a huge purchase. You know, some people have houses that are less than the cost of a semi. So when you look at it that way, there has to be a lot of questions and a lot of back and forth before you take the plunge into this huge endeavor. But we did get through it.
And then also just Freightliner general information. It will give you news. It'll give you some training videos if you need anything like that. Recalls should do like a push notifications for recalls or anything along those lines. Can't remember exactly what it shows you on warranty, which reminds me I forgot to print that off, so I'll do that before we finish here. Here is your DOT and your DOT sticker. I didn't put the company name on the sticker or on the form because I didn't have it at the time, so whatever you guys want to put down there, Panther or Expedited Services, whatever you want to put on there is fine. Here's just a couple quick references, just for like dash lights, how to run a regen, I don't know how far away you are from a regen, and this is a quick reference stuff for the transmission, just some of the operations on the transmission and that, because I'd never know what people were coming out of. Some people come out of Peterbilt, so they're not quite familiar with the Freightliner. So I always make sure I print that off. And I can go out and go over anything in the truck.
Yeah, we just came out of a 2024.
Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be the same. The one thing I do want to check before you guys go is the plugs. I noted that I did not have that checked off yet. We had an issue a couple times with some plugs. It was just a complete fluke. So I've been going out there and just plugging a charger in and making sure all the outlets are hot. Should be okay, but I'll go out there and check that before you take off.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of other wires inside of the crevice where the CV goes as well.
Yeah, that's just the power wire and then the power ground and the antenna wire for the CV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just plug and play.
Yeah, basically, it kind of depends on the connections on your CV. You might have to use some butt connectors, to splice it. But yes, basically, it's just power ground and your antenna's already there.
Okay.
So, yep. And the little, so that's on the lower tray. There's like two of them stacked there. That little piece that, I don't know if you want to call it the top for the bottom or the floor part for the top one, that will come out of there. So it'll make it a lot easier to get in there and get those wires.
Oh, okay.
I cut my hands up quite a bit before I figured that one out. It's just Velcroed in there, so it'll pop right
Yeah.
off.
Oh, nice.
And you can get in there.
Okay,
So,
that's
yep.
good.
So here's your VIN number, your APU. You have a Thermo King Evolution. There's the serial number for that. And then the engine, transmission, and axles, those are the models and the serial numbers for each one of those. And then down here is your key code, and it's on all the keys as well. But if you'd ever lock your keys in it or you lose them or something like that, a Freightliner dealer or most locksmiths can cut from just that code. So as long as you have that code, you can get a key. You don't even have to have one to trace it. Here's the maintenance schedule. I recently updated this and went through everything, but you can always go in and look at the manual too, make sure things haven't changed.
At this point, we were going over all the maintenance for the warranties and the maintenance for the truck. There was a lot to learn and to find out. For me, mainly, we have experience with Freightliner. We were in a 2024 Freightliner. So this Freightliner was quite similar. There were things that we needed some more information on, like we have an APU, which we didn't have in our previous truck, and we have just wires and things like that in different places. So we wanted to just make sure that we were thorough, and we asked as many questions about the truck as possible. And shout out to Nate Meyer there at Stoops. He was very thorough and gave us a lot of the information that we needed, and gave us even reference material that would make it really easy for us to just put it in a binder and have it at our fingertips. So I definitely would recommend Stoops and Nate in specific if you wanted to get a truck and know about these trucks, because there is a lot to know about these trucks.
The DEF filter, that's going to be around 500,000. The DPF filters, which are the bigger, more the expensive ones, those are going to be around 640,000. It's an estimate because it goes by your fuel economy. So the better fuel economy you get, it could go a little past that, could be a little under. That's just kind of an average.
So if we're getting, what is an example of like good mileage? Like when do we want to look at it if we're getting less than this?
It goes by thousands of gallons used. It's not necessarily by miles per gallon.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what the number is. It used to be like 72,000 gallons is when it would trip the light on. You can have them. So if you're getting close to that, say you're at whatever 550, and you know you got a vacation or something coming up, and you can afford to have the truck down, they can go in with the computer and they can look at that and tell you how much life is left on it.
Okay.
And then you can kind of schedule it and work around it. Your coolant. Sorry, this is new. I had to read it for a second. Additive maintenance, so that should get checked every year, and then it doesn't need to be changed until 600,000 or 4 years, as long as you're using the extended life, which is what it has in it. The red coolant is extended life.
Okay, cool.
If you switch over at some point and start using the green, which is the old stuff, then it needs to be done a little more often. But as long as you're using red, which is what it's kind of hard to find green anymore, really. Suspension U-bolts, those get retorqued at 100,000, and then every 300 after that. The air dryer, I would have that serviced yearly. Now is kind of a good time of the year to do that before you go into winter, and then you don't have to worry about it freezing up and causing issues with that. Power steering filter and fluid, that's at 300,000. Air filter, that's just as needed. Transmission change, that's out to 400,000 or 5 years now, and then the axle is at 300,000. And then the Thermo King APU is at 2,000 hours.
Does that mean you need to change them? Like
No,
get
it's
new
just
ones?
service.
Oh,
This is like
services.
service.
Just changing the oil.
Yeah, these are wet
I'm
PMs.
just
Yeah, the
Yep,
wet
just changing
PMs
the
is like fluids, oils, stuff like that. Dry PM is not. It doesn't have anything to do with fluids.
Okay.
Yeah, they would just be checking it. Like when you do your dry PM at 25, so they would just be checking.
So
Checking
I,
all of the
so I
oils.
got a brand new 2024. I think we had like 20, when we got it, it was 20,000 miles, right?
Yeah.
So the steering was a little bit loose. When I just took this over there to the corner, the steering was like really tight. Is that the way it's supposed to be?
I would say that. Well, so did it have the lane guidance? The one that you were in? That's why it was loose. If they had lane guidance to where it auto corrects in the lane,
Yeah.
that's the difference.
Oh, it's not-
So this is just your regular old steering gearbox. That one had motor on it, and that's why it was easier. It is a lot. There is a difference. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, no,
okay.
this one feels the way it should feel.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And that one felt the way it should have felt.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there's a
Yeah,
difference
it has
there.
that.
Oh,
Okay,
so
yeah, I
we
just
don't
wanted
have
to-
the lane thing. So
You
it's
have
not.
a lane departure warning, but you don't have the guidance.
It's
where
not
it
gonna
is.
like. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
husband needed that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, so
It
that's
was like I was fighting with the truck.
Yeah, so that's you don't have it on this
Oh,
truck.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Good.
So that's why it feels a little
Oh,
different.
okay, good.
Yep.
Okay, no problem.
And then here's the different fluid levels, or fluids, and kind of what you like. The engine oil, there's all sorts of different ones that you can use out there. You just want to make sure it says FA4 or CK4 on the bottle. Coolant, you want to make sure that it says OAT, which is organic acid technology in red. Transmission and diffs, use 7590, and then just Dextron 3 transmission fluid for the power steering. If you ever do have to get towed, just make sure they pull the drive shaft or at least pull all the axles on it because it can burn the transmission up. Most of the record guys know that by this point, but there's a couple not for hire stickers.
Okay.
And let me print the warranty stuff off and then we'll do that real quick.
That was already done.
Because we haven't in-serviced it yet. So the big ones I want to point out is this one here, which is the basic vehicle. So that is the Freightliner warranty. It's everything that Freightliner installed. Big ticket items on that would be like the HVAC system, the electrical components for the truck itself. That's got a 12-month, 100,000 mile warranty on it. As part of that, you have a 15,000 mile like break-in period or shakedown period. So if you get out there and you find something's wrong, but it's not necessarily broken and it just needs an adjustment, you have 15,000 miles to get that back in and get it taken care of.
would that be any Freightliner or it has to come back here?
No, any Freightliner can do that. Yeah. So like say the windshield wiper arm is not clocked right and it goes way off. You know, it needs an adjustment. You just need to take it off, reposition it, and put it back on. That's an adjustment. You'd have 15,000 miles to find something like that. And you do have some towing and roadside service. 2 months, unlimited miles on that, and it's up to $750. And that would be even if it's a non-warrantable failure. So let's just say you blow a tire out or something like that. You have to pay it, and then if you would get a hold of the dealer, probably best to just come back and let us know. We can file a claim, and they would pay up to $750 on it.
Is it 24 or 2 months?
24
Okay.
months. It's showing you months.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 years. And the in-service date will start today or tomorrow, whenever we get it registered.
Okay.
Your engine, your basic engine and after treatment, you have 2 years unlimited miles on that. After that, it rolls into your EW4 coverage, which is the most comprehensive engine and after treatment warranty you can get. We have that for 5 years, 600,000 miles. No deductible or anything on that. Nothing you need to do. It's automatically in place. So at 2 years, you don't have to like call back in and say, hey, we're getting our 2 years or whatever. Just automatically will pick up. On the axles and the transmissions, or transmission in the axles, I should say, that has a 5-year, 750,000 mile warranty on those. That's for like the housing, internally lubricated parts, that kind of thing. The one thing to point out that will drop out on that is the seals. So like the output seal on the transmission, same thing, output seal on the axle or input seal on the axle. Those go out at 3 years or 300,000 miles. So if you notice a leak starting on one, just make sure you get it in and taken care of before that 300,000 mile time comes up.
Is there anything on these papers that say about the first, like these are saying like the ending, like if it's 5 years or whatever, but like 300?
Like you're saying,
Yeah, like, you know, the first part.
well, we don't have an in-service date in here yet, but it would be, I'll just tell her to make it for today. So that'll be your in-service date.
When you say first part, what are you talking
Because
about?
he just said like the seals, they all drop out at 300,000 miles or 3 years.
Yeah,
but
so-
but the actual warranty goes up to like I think 5 years. So we
Right.
need to know like the seals.
So like
300,
here where it says
that's what I
yoke
mean.
sealing surface, it shows 3 years,
Oh, okay.
300.
All right, that's what I want to know.
It's,
So what's
it's
listed
going to be
there?
in the fine print here too.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as that's somewhere that we know.
I just saw this, the clutch. That's not considered part of the transmission. That has a 3-year, 350 warranty on it. So.
Okay.
All right, and that is everything that I've got for you.
So,
Do you want me to tell him to go ahead and just pull that stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, I'll mess it up, see.
No, that's a completed. Right?
All right, there's Roger.
Yeah, that's our copy.
okay, so that's right.
Hey, Roger.
Hey, that team is ready to go to close whenever you're ready.
They are here, and that was good timing because we just wrapped up everything that I go through with them. So perfect. They are sitting here, and they got their docs and ready to go.
I'm ready to sign our life away. Mortgage, more like a closing on a mortgage. It's all good though.
This mortgage is helping us pay our rent.
Yeah. This mortgage should help us pay. My wife said this mortgage should help us pay our other mortgage.
All right, so hey, the first 2 pages there, Jose, there's one for you, and Marietta, there's one for you for the statement of understanding.
Okay.
That's that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is just just something to make sure you understand kind of how the payments are working. So, first thing I will point out about the quarter down the page there, you see it says Expedite Management Services will deduct $17.50 per week for the program fee. That's for the back office support. Okay, and then if you go down to the weekly payments, so this kind of tells you how everything's broken down. So you'll see the monthly payment in these documents. And, the way they figure out the weekly truck note is they'll take that monthly and divide it by 4.3. That will be your weekly truck note. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then with this, they do give you 2 months on the front end on the amortization schedule before that first payment is due to the bank. Okay. So before that first payment is due to the bank, there's an example calendar down there in the bottom left. This isn't exact, but it's just an example. So, so if you look at a calendar, you take today, you take that first payment date, which will be 2 months from today, November 12th. You back that up 6 weeks to that first, and then move forward to that first Friday, because your settlements, your truck notes come out of the settlements on Fridays. Okay, that will be the first truck note from your settlement. So that translates into it's going to give you a week or 2 to get the truck into service and get some loads on your belt before that weekly truck note comes out. Okay, so it won't come out this Friday. Okay, be another week or 2 before that happens.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
All right. So I need each of you to sign down that box where the X with the line is on your page respectively.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to date it?
No.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right.
Only dated to date.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to change the date on the first page of these docs. Let me do that. I just noticed that. Let's see here. September 4th there at the very top. I'm going to change that real quick and reprint this page. So I'll go through this and I'll send Nate a replacement page for this.
Okay.
But we'll at least go over
I
here.
was saying 912.
I was.
The-
You
is
talking
it-
about the PTOA number? Does that have the date on it too?
Yeah, the date's correct on the PTOA
Oh,
number. But
this
it
right
was
here.
posted at the very top.
Ah, okay. After
November
agreement.
4th.
Okay,
Change that
gotcha.
date, so.
Gotcha.
But yeah, let me scan this. I'll be right back with you.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. All right. So yeah, back on this first page here.
I got
Yeah.
initial
So
too.
on the mileage.
Off to the side there, and then down at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. So initial on that line where the X is. Both of you, please. If you can't both, control the lines maybe next to it.
Yeah.
If you can't both.
Right here.
And then at the bottom of the page, just in that white margin below that bold lettering there, both of you initial the bottom of that first page.
Yeah. Yeah, we did that.
We're good.
Okay. And then you're both going to initial the bottom of page 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the same area.
Okay.
It's just like a mortgage.
Yeah, it's just like.
And let me know when you get to page 6.
All right. That's 2.
You can do it and then I'll just make it an assembly line.
3. 4. 5. All right, we on 6.
Okay, so this is the signature page. So, Jose, you're going to be on the left side, sign that line where the X is, and then Marietta, you'll be to the right of that.
Mm-hmm.
Operating agreement. So, yeah.
What?
Remember it had to be notarized. He said we'll do it here.
Oh yeah. So are you going to still notarize the operating agreement for us?
Yeah, they should have a notary public there.
Okay. When we get the Panther.
No, at Stoops there.
Oh, right here. Okay.
I have a notary till 2.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
yeah, we'll get to that. I think
Okay.
it's the last page there.
All right.
And that's it
So
on
next
that
page
page?
we got disbursement request and authorization. So the principal amount of the loan. This shows you where the money is going. See, the cash sale value of the truck was $194,600. $2,000 is going to my company, Shirley's, for putting the deal together and doing the docs for you. Now that will include the loan docs down the road. Okay, they're a lot longer form. It'll be like 40-some pages, like buying a house. But I won't charge you an extra fee for doing those. So
Okay.
it's all included. Again, this is all included with the principal amount of the loan, so like nothing's due today. Okay, and then $400 is going to Expert Equipment Finance for the doc fee. That's to pay people like Terry and Danny for doing that DocuSign stuff. So I'll leave you one signature here, Jose. Want to sign that line where the X is. Then Marietta, maybe just an initial off the right of his signature.
Okay. That's page
Next
7.
we got the List E acknowledgement page. So this is just your company acknowledging that during the lease portion of this, of course, the lessor will be Expert Equipment Finance, and you guys will be your lessee. So there at the bottom, there's 2 signatures, Jose with a single X's and Marietta with a double X's. Try to squeeze that signature in there best you can.
Okay.
All right, next page we got, so this is the addendum now. This is for the maintenance of the truck, as you're describing. So again, during the lease portion of this only, the ES will be keeping a maintenance fee. That's going to cover all the repairs and maintenance on the truck for you. The first payment, the balance on the truck's going to be off the far right there, $40,155. Okay. So if you go into the loan, we'll do the loan. That'll be the principal amount of the loan. That loan will amortize through October 2029. Okay. But of course, if you have $40,000 sitting in the bank and you just want to pay the truck off, you can do that too and just skip the loan. All right. But even if we do the loan docs, okay, with a simple interest loan, you can't pay the truck off any time during those last few months, so without any penalty. So say if you get down to September 2029, you want to make a double payment and pay the truck off a month early, you can certainly do that too. Okay.
Okay.
All make sense?
Yep. Makes sense.
All right. Well, that is all I got. So What questions did you guys have, if any?
None. Just the one about the operating agreement. That's it. And
Okay.
She's in a meeting until 12:30 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get that signed.
yeah.
All right, cool. Well, Nate will make you copies of all this stuff.
Okay.
Of course, you guys have my contact information. So if you do have questions on the docs or otherwise, if I can help you out, feel free to give me a call anytime, okay?
All right, thank
Thanks
you.
a lot, Roger.
By
Appreciate
the way,
it.
great working with you guys, and congrats on the new truck, and go out and make some money. Wish you guys the best.
Oh yeah, that's what we're
Have a
trying to
good
do,
one.
man. Thank you. Yeah.